Hello, my name is MercurioBlue, and welcome to Dominaria Collective Box Opening. So when this set was first announced, there was a lot of hype because Wizard of the Coast had announced that they had discovered some boxes, I guess, of or unopened boxes of Legends, original Legends boosters from 1994 in like a warehouse somewhere. A lot of people have this envisioning opening like, oh, we're going to get, Tabernacle of Tendril Veils, you know, ridiculously expensive, or people want them for EDH and Legacy. I don't know how many people actually opened Tabernacle. I mean, the chance of getting, I think they said the chance of getting actual Legends card, like I think 3% of box or packs would have, or collector booster packs would have one, and then that there were a lot of terrible commons and uncommons that, like, so the chance of getting like the actual tabernacle, the box topper, Tetsuo Imperial Champion, blue, black, red, legendary creature, human samurai. Whenever a Tetsuo Imperial Champion attacks, if it's equipped, choose one. Tetsuo deals damage equal to the highest mana equipment attached to it to any target. They cast an instant or sorcery spell from your mana value less than or equal to the highest mana value equipment attached to Tetsuo without paying its mana. Definitely a lot of text on that card for certain. It's probably good in some kind of like Grixis equipment deck that also happens to have a lot of instants and sorceries, or some number of sorceries. Phyrexian Vivisector, I barely know her. Citizen's Arrest is base. It's like, I feel like this is like the cheapest that they've made a card like this in a while. Certain, just a white exiling card at common. Usually, this type of effect you have to, like, a uncommon exile it. Floriferous Vine Wall is good in your deck that has like a lot of good in your deck that, trying to get different land types or whatever, because it can find. I mean, in the top 6 cards, like, it's also it also has synergy with the Defender theme. Thriving Necromass. There was an entire cycle of these cards, one in each color. That basically it was cheaper based on a specific thing, or a specific thing that, like, I guess it would identify with the color. The white one got cheaper based on the number of creatures you controlled. The green one was cheaper based on the number of land types, like domain. And the blue one was cheaper based on the number of sorceries in your graveyard. And the red one was cheaper based on her highest creatures you control. And then, this one, the black one. It cares about the cards in your graveyard. Heroes Heirloom. So there was like a legendary matters sub theme in the set, because the set had like a lot of legendary creatures in it, and some like legend stuff. So like in this case, if the creature it's equipped to is legendary, it gets trampled. Scribe Tablet actually sees some play in Eldrazi because it is kind of like a cheaper version, like action map for them. Kinda doesn't let you tutor up the specific land you want, but you can you know it's like 1 versus 2. It's a difference. Island. Joyra, Ageless Innovator. Valiant Veteran. The Peregrine Dynamo. 3 generic legendary artifact creature construct. Haste 1/5. 1 generic tap. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control from another legendary source. Choose new targets for the. So it's like a variant on illusion card. Yeah, it's copying your activate buff. Queen Alanol of Uruguadoc. Tobias Doomed Conqueror, 2 generic white blue legendary creature human. Flash when Tobias Doomed Conqueror dies. For each non-token creature you control that dies. Create a 2/2 black token. You're supposed to cast this in response to like a board wipe so that all your creatures come back at 2/2. The Vitri Dragon Master, 2 generic blue black legendary plane for loyal. +1 until your next turn, creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays life for each of those. -3, search your library for a dragon card, reveal it, put into your hand, then shuffle. Then -7, destroy all non. The Vitri Dragon Master can be. So this can tax. The +1 will tax like your opponent's creatures from attacking because they have to pay life. So it's kind of like the LS, like the Norn type effect. Then -3 is a tutor for a dragon, very Sarkhan-esque. -7. Shivan Reef. And a Defiler of Dreams. I opened actually one of these boxes before, and I don't think I got any pain lands, which was surprising. Not that the pain lands are like a big draw to the set. I can't remember when, like I can remember when, like I think it was during the M15 standard or something. Like the Llanowar Wastes. Llanowar Wastes were actually like $15 at one point because people needed third. Shore up. Timely interference. Molten Monstrosity. This is part of that cost decrease cycle before. Griffin Protector, which is a reprint from 2013. Yavimaya Iconoclast, which is actually like pretty. I was actually played in like standard for a while. It was 3 mana, 4/3 haste. Turns into a 3/2 trample the next. Utilize Acolyte. Rona Shieldred's Fate. Temporary lockdown. This is also like a card that sees play in board wipe for small things. Not irrelevant. They're a Paragon. This is also seeing a lot of play in Standard for a while. I think it still does see some play. I just had to get like errata. I don't remember. It definitely felt like it was errata. Bohar Vodalian Desecrator, aka Merfolk Looter, that has like a little bit of possibility. Sorcery once. I do like that the design for like recurring instants and sorceries seems to like change sometimes. Like sometimes it's like, oh, exile that instant or sorcery from your guard and you cast it until end of turn, and then sometimes it's just like put that instance or sorcery back on top of your library. I don't know, sometimes they like change. Tobias Doom Conqueror. Rasputin the Oneiromancer, one generic white and a blue. Legendary creature human with 4/1. When Rasputin the Oneiromancer enters the battlefield, put a dream counter on it for each opponent you have. Each opponent creates a 1/1 red goblin token. Then tap, remove one or more dream counters from Rasputin, add them a colorless. Tap, remove a dream counter from. Create a 2/2 white knight creature token with protection. That has like a lot of text on it. I don't really understand why it gives opponents like, there's probably some synergy with it. I mean, it's like a throwback to the original Rasputin, which was like a I think was also like a 4/1. Like you could uh, Caves of Koilos and a Urtai Res. How did Urtai get his hair back when he was? I just remember how like his original art showed him when after he was like had like his hair again and a Pyrexian token slash bird. Not a Pyrexian bird. Llanowar Stalker. Yoshino Branch Rider. Wooded Ridgeline. So one thing that was neat about this set is that it had a cycle of common ETB tap duels. That's not that interesting, but the interesting part is that all they have basic lane, like relevant. But Deathbloom Gardener, which I think is an interesting design. A mana dork that also has death. I mean, they've done that before too. Deathcap Cultivator, but that was like a condition touch. Golduvian Atrocity. You might notice that this set has like a lot of kicker cards in it. That was also something I liked um, when drafting the set because it added like a new layer of complexity to have cards with both ally kicker cost and enemy kicker costs to change like your priority. Drafting certain cards based on when you could kick it, and then also it encouraged you to pick up off color dual diversity costs. Whatnot. Combat research, which actually saw some like standard decks, basically curiosity. Lickmon's Warren Chief. The Caves of Koilo, so getting all the pain lands tonight, I guess. Baru Worm Speaker, 2 generic and green. Generic creature you drew it, 3/3. Worms you control get +2/+2. 7 generic green, tap. Create a 4/4 green worm. This ability costs X less to activate, where X is the greatest. So there's like some. And it could fuel it with itself, right? Hey, man. Balmor, Battle Mage Captain, which sees some disrupted standard. Or Walkie the Younger, 3 generic, black red, generic creature, human archer, 3 lifelink. If another source you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent player, it deals that much damage +1 player. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, or Walkie the Younger deals. So it is it can buff non-combat damage sources, and it also like rewards you for casting instant sorceries. So you could definitely rack up like some off of this guy too. A Ramses Assassin Wolf. 2 generic black legendary creature human assassin 4/4 death touch. Other assassins you control get +1/+1. Whenever a player loses, they were attacked this turn by an assassin. That's like an interesting like alternate type card for your assassin tribal deck. And Ayesha Tanaka Armorer, 3 generic and a white blue 2/4 legendary creature human artificer. Whenever Ayesha Tanaka Armorer attacks, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may put any number of artifact cards with mana value less than or on. Put the rest on the bottom of your library. Ayesha can't be blocked as long as. So it's like an artifact synergy card because you want to have facts in your deck to get with her ability, attack ability. Also, like punishes your opponents for playing facts. And then a Lenoir Lure, rolling Badger token, Badger. I forgot what actually creates badgers in the because I remember there's like a there is like a badger creature in the stuff. I don't think it makes tokens. Like it just gives all your creatures menace or say like the kicker on it. Sometimes I used to joke about that card because it's not very good limited decks because limited has evolved past the point where you're actively trying to put in vanilla 3 mana 3/3s into your deck, but it's just it's all about like little advantages. Like a 3/3 is not like a 3/3 for 3 is not totally. In the text, the kicker does actually some all the time. Or Academy Wall. Like I was saying before, there is like a Defender Matters sub-theme in the set. There are like some creatures that care about the number of defenders you have. Go to Sea Scavenger, a domain off type card. Not much of a payout, but it does have a domain payout on it. Bite down. Rapid Bite. Geothermal Bog. Click Mons, Warren Chief. Elvish Hydromancer. Just like almost Hand of Hatred. You know, I've seen people play this card a bunch, and I don't think I've ever actually seen something activate tap ability, but I'm sure it'll happen. Or someone like getting to do the Dark Waste. A Unite the Coalition. Yeah, there's a lot of text on there, but yeah. Too generic. Uberg instant. Choose 5. You may choose the same mode more than once. So target permanent phases out. Target player draws a card. Exile target player's graveyard. Unite the Coalition deals 2. Yeah, not exactly like Coalition Victory, which I mean is banned in EDH, but it's got a lot of text and ability. A Legomos Hand of Hazel. Jasmine Boreal of the South. One generic, white, human druid. Tap add green white. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells with no ability. Creatures you control with no ability. So it's like hard to go into your mirror on the Petro type deck. There was also like some professor, I think it was like some legendary bear that like about creatures of no abilities. Torsten, founder of Benalia, 5 generic, white. Legendary creature, human, soldier, 7. When Torsten, founder of Benalia, enters the battlefield, you'll reveal the top 7 cards of your life. A number of creature and or land. Your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. When Torsten dies, create 7/1/1/1. But yeah, that's a lot of text and a lot of 7 too, right? Cost 7 mana, reveals top 7 cards of your library, creates 7 creature tokens. The Raven Man, not to be, and a Astor Bearer of like Pioneer Hammer. Why is that? But a bird. I definitely think I heard people trying to make Colossus Hammer work in Pioneer, but it's a lot harder to do that since, you know, I guess there's no Urza Saga in Pioneer, thank God. Scout the Wilderness, which is your rampant growth variant, but with kicker, they can use ones. Not really great either, but hey, if you want like 5 mana, self help. Juniper Order, Root Weaver, again, I think kind of suffers from war creep nowadays. Like a 2 mana vanilla 2/2 is not really play, but like a mana play item. Aggressive Sabotage, Find Rot with full upside. Picking it. Glowstone Infusion, Immolation, Vortug Bone Rattle. Definitely a favorite of Dominaria Limited. This can definitely help a lot of like chaining with Urborg Repossession. Inferno. Island. Garna, Bloodfist of Kel. Danita Benalia's Hope. Which is really cool with the hero heirloom. Put it into play. Valiant Veteran. Ale Abazoa Aeronaut. Mirez the Pietro Pillager, generic blue flag, legendary creature human. Mirez the Pietro Pillager enters the battlefield. Life and create 2 trade. Whenever one or more pirates you control deal combat, exile to top that player's library. They cast that card for as long. So I mean, it's a 4-mana 4/3. It ramps you a bit. You get yours off of it. It rewards you for combat damage. Pirates. It says 1 or more. It's only going to exile 1 card per combat unless like pirates has like Ivy Gleeful Spelty sees play combo decks with Priest. The Dark Art Waste and a Urborg Lurgoyf, which is probably the closest you'll get to like a Armor. Not exactly. For Asian Emblem. I wonder if Johnny Sleeper Agent actually saw any play in Standard. I don't think so, but yeah, I think overall like there was some impact on Standard, but not nearly as much as like some other Standard sets. So. Sacred Peaks. I think this card got referenced in March of the Machines. Really, the art difference. Broken Wings. Good old print from. It's been like in a feud. That's I think like. Pick up the shield. Battle Rage Blessing. LS Ilcor. As I mean, I think some people were messing around with it, plays decks, but and then Vertise Scorn. Then Area Scholar of Antiquity. I think saw like a little bit of play in like Pardon Scales, but I don't play like probably not. Medallion Hex for you modern folk enjoyers. Another Vodalian Hexcatcher. Star Ojinin Ion of Afrava. Warwalkie the Younger. Mata Primeval Ward. And a Karn Living like I remember like when this card first came out, like a lot of people maligned it because they're like, why does this like create Power Stone? Made sense like when all the Power Stones are, and then a what is this? Roboron Mercenary, 3 generic and white. Creature Human Mercenary, 3/4. Vigilance. Roboron Mercenaries has all activated abilities of all legends. Such a weird casual 4-mana. I can copy the abilities of, or has all the abilities of other legendary creature. It is a bird. I definitely think that the Valiant Veterans saw some play like Standard, but I don't think like the fact like something being played in standard doesn't really like impact the price of a card that much anymore, just because there's not really like a lot of people playing like paper standard anymore, as far as I know. I think that's what they were trying to like address with the change to standard rotation, to make it so that people to play paper standard if the rotation was like longer. But Air Spinner, which is also like a reprint from Spark, Angled Islet, X-Bane Tortoise, which if you look at the art, it has like a turtle on top of turtle's face, or turtles all the way down. Negate, good on negate, just four set. Nail, Avizoa, Aeronaut. Light Pile, this is one of those Defender Matters cards I was like talking about. One life creatures with defense. Island. Dubious Monarch. Yeah, this definitely sees play in. Then Paranoid Partisan, which can make spells cheaper, and you can exile it, I guess, to like name a different card type. Emperor Mihail II, one generic, two blue, legendary creature, Merfolk Noble. 3/3, you may look at the top part of your library anytime. You may cast Merfolk spells from the top of your library. Whenever you cast a Merfolk spell, you may pay 1. If you do, create a 1/1. The Merfolk tribal card. Neat. Wrath, Weatherlight, Stalwart, Jasmine Boreal of the Seven, the Lady of Otaria, 3 generic, red, green, legendary creature, avatar, 5/5. May tap 3 untap dwarves you control rather than plus. At the beginning of each end step, if a land you control will put into a graveyard from the battlefield turn, deal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put any number of dwarf cards from put the rest on the bottom of your library. So there's like a red-green dwarf deck that has a lot of like fetch lands, or has lands that go to the graveyard, like Rip Mine, and kind of go off of it. Raids Arisen Nightmare. And a Green Sleeves, Morose Sorcerer, 3 generic, 2 generic creature element are protection from planeswalkers and from Green Sleeves, Morose Sorcerer's power and toughness equal to the number of lands. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, create a 3/3. I figured out what makes the Badger tokens, and that it's this thing. Okay, so it's like, yeah, rewards you for playing all lands, putting multiple lands into play. Worm. Pixie Illusionist. I really like this as like a throwback to older cards. I think there was like an older cycle of these types of cards from like Invasion that you it to change a land to a different basic land type or whatever. This one only lets you target your own learn using these types of creatures to like color screw your opponent during their upkeep. It's like not like Sunlit Marsh, pick up the shield, Haunting Figment, Leaving Skyrider. I thought this card was gonna be really, really good when I saw it in use, but I think I don't know, it just feels like 6 mana is like a lot. Like I'd just rather be the heroic charge team pumping. You have 6 mana. Pilfer or Thoughtseize at home. Vortug Bone. Filer of Dreams. Stronghold Arena. Definitely nothing like Pyrexia. Rada Coalition Ward. Card's actually pretty cool with mana. Taps for like any color mana, and you can also tap an untapped legendary. General Marhal Eldragon. 2 generic. Green the red. Legendary creature Elf Warrior 4/4. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, it gets +3/+3 until end of turn for each blocking it. So it's like a reference to the Jin's mechanic Rampage, which it was worded as like Rampage N, where for each creature beyond the first blocking this creature, it gets N plus N plus N. So like Craw Giant was like a 7 mana 6/4 that had Rampage 3 on it. So like if they double blocked it, it would get +3/+3, so it would become. I think the cool thing I remember about the original Legends version of this card is that it looked like Spock, Star Trek. Another Squee Dubious Soul of Windgrace, which has a lot of text. And Anna Purifying Blade. A soldier bird token. Oh, I didn't read all the text on it, but if you are curious, Soul of Windgrace, it's a 1 generic. Black, red, green, legendary creature. Cat avatar, whenever Soul of Windgrace enters the battlefield, put a land card from a graveyard onto the control. Then it has 3 activated abilities. One is green. Life. 1 generic red, discard a land card. 2 generic black, discard a land card. Soul of Windgrace. Destructible until end of turn. I definitely think I saw people trying to play that card in Modern, at least. Like, I think they were trying to play it in, like, Scape Shift or something. I don't know, but I think they realized maybe it's up. That doesn't, like, awkward in Modern. Haunted Mire. Forgiving Cavalier. Lightning Strike, which is a reprint from original Theros. Geothermal Bog. They really don't want to give standard players like Strata, Coalition Warlords, Breaker Baloff, Forest, Raids Arisen Nightmare, Chaotic Transformation, which It's like a really, really expensive buy. Creativity. Killer engine, 2 generic, artifact, creature, construct, 1/3. Whenever land enters the battlefield tapped in under, choose one, untap that land, tap target non-land permanent. So this works with all your like tapped common bounce stuff. LSL Core, Sadistic Pilgrim, Neres de Pietro Pillager, Mojave Caleria, 1 generic green white legendary creature Elf Archer, 1. Tap all archers you control during each other player's untap. Whenever an archer you control deals damage to a creature, you may pay. So it's a archer off. King Darian, the 158. I'm bad at like Roman numeral reading. Apologize. Valiant. And a soldier Jaya firing negotiator token. Yeah, I'm like, honestly, the only time I read like Roman numerals is like if I watch like the Super Bowl, because then it's actually like relevant. Like Super Bowl, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well now I know what it is because 2023. So yeah, I can understand what all that lettering means. But extinguish the lights, aka the clap off. I don't remember those commercials. The clapper commercials. Maybe just me. Fossil growth. All for time. That's something I do every time I get called on. And the Battlefly Swarm. Dragon Whelp, which is a reprint from Aber or whatever. Imagine that like everything gone and so power creeped those days. Helps again. Balmor, Battle Mage Captain. Lanes. Urg, Spawn of Turg. Noir, Lone Speaker. Archangel of Wrath, aka please don't play this against me in Dominaria United drafts, because 4 mana, 3/4 lifelink that can kill 2 creatures and gain 4 life. Not cool. Garna, Bloodfist of Keld. The Jasmine Boreal of the Seven. Zira, the Golden Sting, 1 generic. Black, red, green, legendary creature, insect assassin, 3 flying haste. Whenever Zira the Golden Sting attacks, put an egg counter on another target creature without an egg counter. When that creature dies, if it has an egg counter on it, draw a card and create a. So it rewards you for like killing or I guess sacrificing other creatures. Like you could kill your opponent's. You could put an egg counter on your opponent's creature, then just put an egg counter. Creature you're planning on sacrificing anyways, and value. Zazon, Shaper of Saint. Red, green, white, legendary creature, human warrior, 3/3, desert walk. This creature can be blocked as long as defending player control. Play desert lands whenever a desert enters a. Create 2/1/1 red, green creature tokens. So this synergizes with the desert cards from Hour of Devastation. There were a bunch of desert cards in Devastation that you cycle or play and then sacrifice it. Historian's Boon, 3 generic and white enchantment. Ever Historian's Boon or another non-token enchantment. Create a 1/1 white soldier. Whenever the final chapter ability of a saga you control triggers, create a 4/4 white ancient creature token. Cool, so they can give you like Sarah of your sagas, firing, and then a token. Lightning Strike, Argivian Cavalier, which very similar to like Attendant. I guess Attendant Knight was like similar. Jaya's Fire NATO, your generic large creature destroy spell or damage spell, I mean. Hey, we got a legendary, we got a legends card. Oh man. Blazing Effigy, 420 Blaze it. Yeah, I actually remember opening this card in like the Legends pack like when I was younger, but yeah, it's like yeah, you can tell like a lot of the Legends cards were actually favor, not for like the Blazing Effigy, 1 generic red, summon Effigy. When placed in the graveyard from play, Effigy does 3 damage per creature. If an Effigy is damaged by another Effigy in this manner and is placed in the yard that turn, it deals the amount of damage received by Effigy. So, most intents and purposes, this is something that's gonna like jump block a creature and then not. Yosha declares war. Yeah, so like the sagas in this set had a new ability called Read Ahead, which normally the sagas they make when you play a saga you start at chapter 1. Um but with Read Ahead you can actually start at chapter 2 or 3 if you want to. But you don't get any of the benefits of like the early chapters, but it's like it's there are some situations with like sagas where you just want to get to like, chapter 3 right away. Like read ahead like helps there, but you can only read ahead on a saga if it actually a Shova Brawler, which actually sees Forest, Vohar Voldalian Desecrator, Vesuvan Duplimancy, man, very just for yeah, you can so Vesuvan Duplimancy is an whenever you cast a spell that targets only a single artifact or creature you can create a token that's a copy of the creature except it. I remember Vesuvian Shapeshifter back in the day. It was pretty cool. Or anyways, it was like Quentin Hooper did it, but Academy Lore Master, all Storm Runner, Borwalkie the Younger, Radadrabic of Urborg. I think also saw like a little bit Legendary Matters card. Zira the Golden Sting, Defiler of Flight. A bird. Alright, we're at our final pack. This is going to be the Shoal Dread, right? That we're like digging for the Shoal Dreads. Bullshit Tide Turner. I was talking about earlier about how like Polar Gear Survivor was cool because it generates for instant sorcery. Well, this one only generates blue spell. In addition to an instant sorcery, Thrill of Possibility, like a reap of Eldraine, I believe, or it might have been earlier than Thrill. Elden Strike Team, Toxic Abomination, Battlewing Mystic, like an extremely power creep version. But it isn't uncommon. Basically, like a welcome turn that can block and late game cards when you're empty handed. Warhost Frenzy, Burn Bright with possibility. Lanes, Sorrow Janin, Frava, Medallion Mindsinger. I love playing this card in like draft. Basically, just like a 4/4 or 6/6 with but Leyline Binding. That's cool. The Leyline Binding, like a lot of people are talking about like this card because uh um it's like in the 5 color decks. This is basically or the 5 color decks that have access to New Capenna Ikoria. It also has like synergy, like an enigmatic incarnation because it's like a 6-drop enchantment that you can play early and get like your agent of 3. Or Tira Kennerud Scott. Ramirez de Pietro Pillager. Scholar of Antiquity. Hey! Oh my god, the last pack, we got a Sheoldred. Dang! And that's a Pyrexian tech Sheoldred. Whoa, look at that. And I like how the power and toughness text on it looked like it was written in thing or yeah, like it looked like someone just like wrote it. That's pretty cool. I was like looking for one of these modern. Yeah, the foil Karn living. Anyways, that is the end of this box opening. Let's see what we got. There's like a few things. I don't know like the exact price of everything, but I know like got the card I was looking for, which was Shouldered, a Leyline Binding, and a foil Duplimancy, and a Legends card for the meme Blazing Effigy, 420 Blaze it, and there's like a few pain lands. I don't think these are gonna be worth a lot or whatever. Darker Wastes or Darker Wastes. There's like a couple squeeze, which probably are definitely not worth like anyway. Couple yeah, there's some more Cave of Koilos, another and a Sarah Paragon. Probably worse. And a Chivalry. And the box topper was it? Oh, I don't think the box toppers in this set are actually. Like, I don't know because I think they're only like legal and like there's a foil. Anyways, I mean, I think we basically hit the lottery with this collector booster box because we opened the gold red because that's like the biggest money. Like most of the value in this things. Well, it's also kind of surprising that like the $15 now. I remember when Liliana was just gone like I think it's just been like reprinted a few times. Yeah, because it got like reprinted in Modern Masters 2017, I think, and then reprinted in this set, and it's also gone like power creeped out of Modern pretty badly. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching this Dominaria United collector booster box opening. Uh, if you like the video, please comment and like the video itself, and also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see box open. Also, be sure to check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/MercurioBlue, where I do some drafts and constructed things. And I hope you have a great morning, afternoon,